Hey everybody, how you guys doing? I'm sorry, I wasn't sure if I was rolling or not. But anyway, happy Wednesday to you guys. I pray you guys are doing well on today. Happy post Mother's Day sales that we all were partaking of over the weekend, over last week, part of last week. Happy post Mother's Day. I hope all of you guys had an amazing day. I hope you had a really good Mother's Day. For those who still have, mothers that are alive, and those who did not or do not have mothers alive, I just pray that you still manage to have a great day in spite of, and just, cling on to those memories, those good memories that you may have had with your mother. And I know some may not even have those memories like myself, because I did not grow up with my mother. Um, but my grandmother is the one who raised me up. So I don't have those a lot of fond memories like some people do. So I just, you know, I still I have my kids of my own, and had a blessed Mother's Day in spite of. So anyway, I pray that that you guys are doing well on today, and I am on here because I have a couple of things that I want to share, a couple of things I want to talk about, and uh, what I'm going to do. I'm going to break this. Well, okay. All right. I want to talk about, um, as with any job that requires a lot of lifting, any job that requires a lot of physical activity. I want to talk about body mechanics, guys. And the reason why I want to talk about body mechanics is because I watch a lot of channels. I mean, not comments on them all. And I think we all kind of do the same thing. We say we watch the channels, but, we're so busy doing what we're doing that I don't really get a chance until after the smoke is cleared, after whatever has going on where we were out selling, is when I wind down and get back into, watching some of my favorite video, my favorite channels or whatever. But I see a lot of people talk about how, their backs was hurting, their feet was hurting, this was hurting, that was hurting. And guess what? That is to be expected when we're doing a lot of physical activity, the way that we are doing it, especially when you have to go out and set up, bring tables, bring your gifts out, set up our tents and do whatever it is, even to set up tables and things like that. It requires a lot of physical activity. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot on our body. So this is why I want to talk about body mechanics, because guys, I'm not a licensed physical therapist, guys, but I used to work in the physical therapy department. I was a nurse, a restorative nurse coordinator, which is I'm working alongside of the physical therapy department when a patient client is discharged from out of the physical therapy. What I would then do was take on that resident and make sure that once they left from out of there, that they remained at their highest level of function when they left the physical therapy department. And let's just say if they left out on a level of 10, we don't want them to drop down to a 9, to an 8, to a 7, to a 6, and then they have to turn around and go back into physical therapy again. So my job was to watch over the staff, make sure the staff was doing what they were supposed to be doing, and we were implementing the instructions that the physical therapy department had given for all the staff to maintain this our clients on our skill floor level. So to make a long story short, I worked again alongside physical therapy, and I also used to work inside physical therapy as a physical therapy assistant. So I was in there. So guys, that was I've been off my job since I had to leave my job because of my daughter. I just was just having so many care, um, just someone to just fall in place to be able to help me with my daughter once I got out of work. And before I left work, I had to have somebody get on the school bus, and then I had to have somebody get her off the school bus until I got home. And then eventually I just had to end up leaving my job. And I wanted to make sure that my daughter was in a safe space. You can't have everybody watching over children. And there's always been, my hardest thing to do. But I thank God for some of the good care, because some of the care was like, you know, just a few that I had to step in and say I can't do this no more, um, and leaving my daughter with certain people. But that was back in 2010, and we're in 2024. I can't believe it's been 14 years since I've been going away from my job. I never, I had started that job in 1987, and I just thought I would never be away. I thought I would still be working on that job. But to make a long story short, okay. Um, I want to now disclaimer. I'm going to leave some information on this video. So, because there's plenty of information out here on YouTube, there's a lot of stuff that you can Google. You could talk to your own doctor. You can see whoever you need to see. But guys, a disclaimer on my end: I'm not telling nobody to do what I'm saying. Anything that I'm saying, you do it. I'm just suggesting, and I'm just trying to point in the right direction to help us realize that when we are out um, doing what we're doing, that we have to understand and to make sure that we are using proper body mechanics. And proper body mechanics is just making sure that you don't have to even be doing a business. Proper body mechanics is something that we do every day. We walk around, we climb stairs, we do things, we pick up things, we like, and it's just doing things properly so that we will not hurt ourselves. And using like a robot, a robot. They go about, they stretch out, they do this, and that they're doing things properly. And our bodies are human, and they operate in the same manner. If we do things correctly, we will not have as much hard impact on our bodies if we do certain things correctly. And I'm not saying that nobody is doing anything correctly, incorrectly, but once we make an awareness of what we're doing with our bodies, guys, we can experience maybe some better or uh, less wear and tear on our body. So again, body mechanics is just a way that we do things. It's just how we go about lifting things, um, uh, and how we are maintaining our body as we are doing what we're doing, whatever it may be. So let me just take you into what I mean when it comes to applying body mechanics to what we're doing in this community of this gift baskets. What we are doing is that we are lifting, we are bending, we are squatting, we are bending over, we are even sitting requires proper body mechanics, okay? So what I want to share with you, I'm going to leave an image, just an example of what I mean when it comes to body mechanics. And how we navigate things, how we pick up things, how we transfer things onto a platform, or bend down to set something on the floor requires proper body mechanics. We have to not lean over, but we actually have to bend um, or squat with our knees, and to bring something close to our body to help level off the weight of what we have in our hand. For instance, if we have a big box, okay, and we take, which is the image that I'm going to be inserting into this video. If we just take a big box, we don't pick up the box and have the box way out here, because we're going to injure ourselves this way, because there's more weight. There's a lot of weight here, and we have to balance that out. So just as an example, when we go to pick up something from off the table, we bring it close to us. We bring it close to us. That way we can um, balance out that weight. We cannot have something that is so far from us where it's going to cause us to lean injure our back, pull a muscle in our arms, get everything out of alignment. And that's where we're going to injure ourselves. So knowing how to uh, to move things and to bend and how to properly do things will cause less wear, tongue tie, will cause less wear and tear on our bodies, especially on our backs, especially on our knees. Guys, let me tell you something about my knees. Man, the doctor told me many years ago, and see, I believe the report of God. I don't care I don't care what it looked like. My niece was bothering me one time, and after I had my second daughter, after I had my youngest daughter, my my youngest daughter with the special needs. Okay, let me go back to my first daughter. My first daughter, I was a skinny mini guys, but I was, you know, I ain't trying to brag on myself, but I had a wonderful shape. I had a wonderful shape when I was younger, and I was so slim, and I was so small. And when I had my daughter at 28 years old, ooh, I grew up like a balloon. I tell you real fast. And a lot of it was, I did like to eat, okay? And a lot of it was a lot of water weight that I had. And I lost that weight. I had gained 73 pounds with my daughter, my first daughter. I think I was 200 and I want to say 203, something like that. I had took the scale over to 200, right? When I was only like 100 and, you know, at that time, I think I was 135, something like that. And make a long story short, I lost that weight right away. I lost it about, I don't think it took me longer than 2 months to lose that 70 pounds because a lot of it, for some reason, was water weight. And it was during the summertime. And so I was drinking a lot of water. I was eating a lot of watermelon. Watermelon is a natural diuretic. And I wasn't doing it for that reason. So, because back then I didn't know. But all I know is that I love me some watermelon during the summertime, and that helped me um, get that water weight from off me. But make it also short again, I lost that weight. But when I had my daughter in here, I gained 65 pounds. I didn't gain as much, but I still gained a lot of weight. Okay, but I only lost like 13 pounds. And I thought it was gonna come off just like that when I lost my first daughter, so I wasn't really concerned about that. But what a year later, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, I was like, oh my gosh! But I was so busy, because my daughter had special needs and a lot was going on, and I didn't really have time to really take care of myself the way that I needed to. So walking around with all this weight up until maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, walking around with all this extra weight on me, I was way up there. Sometimes I would go back up to 200 and sometimes I would go back down, but I just kept fluctuating between like 180 and 200. Okay, so my knees were the way they were. I was, experiencing not exactly knee pain, but when I did certain things, like certain movements, I was like, why is my knee hurting like that? And so I ended up maybe somewhere between 10 and 15 years ago. I went and saw a orthopedic doctor. Did all the MRIs and all the stuff on my knees, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I injured my knees when my oldest daughter. I was playing with her, and it's a long story, but I had injury to both of my knees. It was something that happened unexpectedly, and I had injury to my knees, so that I recovered from that. So I developed arthritis. A lot of times they say when you hurt yourself, and like in your joint area, a lot of times you could develop arthritis later on in life. So I developed my doctor told me I had osteoarthritis, and I was like, you know what? He's talking about it ain't gonna do nothing but get worse. And I said, you know what? You can say what you want to say. I don't receive any of that. I kept on dancing. I kept doing the praise dance. And when I would tell people that, I had, just as a testimony that I had osteoarthritis, what the doctor told me, they was like, get out of here. They was like, you still doing what you're doing? I was like, look, let me tell you something. But see, exercise is a good thing for arthritis. You got to keep your joints moving. Okay. So, about, I'm going somewhere with this, guys. Um, about 5 years ago, I want to say 5, 6 years ago, I was going up the steps, right? I kept going up the steps and I kept hearing all this noise, like, creak, 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 creak. And I'm saying, what is that noise? Like, I thought it was something in the steps. I thought it was something in the railings. I thought it was something in the wall. I'm like, what is that? So one day I said, you know what? I'm going to turn off everything in the house. Turn the TV off, turn the music off, make sure my daughter was in school. I said, let me go up these steps and let me hear. Guys, when I went up them steps, when I went up those steps, guess what that noise was? That noise was my knees. I had no clue because my knees wasn't hurting at all. And I said, those are my knees. I said, OMG, those are my knees. Those are my knees. And I couldn't believe it. So the doctor, I went and saw the orthopedics doctor because, my knees really just was not hurting, but I know they felt funny. And he said, you got arthritis and it's going to get worse. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a lie, and okay, whatever, whatever. And that's been about 10 years ago. Now, my knees do feel funny, guys, but my knees. What I found out, guys, again, disclaimer, this is just something that I know here. Okay. Now, I had a cousin that that had knee surgery. Okay. And she has knee surgery on both of her knees. And she put my hand on her knee one day. She said, feel my knee. Oh my gosh, her knee was, it just looked like it felt like the doctor did a really bad job on her knee. And she was having still a lot of knee problems. But she said, what I learned, she said, is that she said the doctor told me to start eating bagels, and I was like, why did I start eating bagels? Because I eat bagels. I love bagels. I eat wheat bagel. I eat like a half a wheat bagel every day. He said because the density of a bagel, that's sugar, and sugar bothers your joints. Sugar bothers your joint. And I said, are you kidding me? I'm like, I can't give up my bagel. I love my morning bagel with my egg, my bacon, and my cheese. And I just said, you know what? I'm gonna try this. It's showing up, the sugars, salt, salt bothers when you have it's inflammation, and it brings inflammation to your joints. Now, again, disclaimer, guys, because some of you guys might be on certain diets and certain this and certain that. Always check in with your doctor. I'm telling you what has been told to me. I checked it out for myself, and yes, every time I eat sugar, every time I eat something, carbohydrates, we need sugar and we need salt for our bodies, but we have to maintain that. We need those minerals for our body. So the sugar and the salt was bothering my knees. And so, I just manage. I don't stay away from sweets, but I manage myself with them. I don't overdo it and I don't underdo it, So I keep a track of my lab work and all this stuff at my doctor's to see where I am at with what's going on the inside of me. But these things are what bothers our knees, our joints, when we don't realize it. So check it out. See where you're at with your, eating sweets and your salts and all that stuff. And also what I learned, guys, when I was going to the gym. Now, I feel like when you go to the gym, I think they should have somewhere posted inside the gym. Now I used to go to the Y and work out. And so when I was getting like really, really you know, staying consistent with my going to the gym when my daughter was at school, my knees was hurting so bad. I was like, I'm going to the gym and I'm doing this and doing. I was like, why is my knees hurting? So I told my doctor um, what I was doing, and she was like, well, you should. Are you walking on the treadmill? I was like, yeah. She said, well, you shouldn't be walking on the treadmill. I was like, why? She said because Okay, she said because it's bad for your knees. And I said, what do you mean it's bad? Because it's the pounding, it's the walking, it's the walking. They don't recommend you to, if you have knee pain, ask your doctor and see what they say. Ask the person in the gym and see what they say. Because they need to have notes. They need to, if you are experiencing, if you have bad knee pain, if you have arthritis, it's not recommended that you walk the treadmill. because it's impacting on your knees. And I said, "Are you kidding me?" And my knees, guys, I'm 19, I'm 20 minutes into here. Let me hurry this. My knees got bad on account of that. And I was really mad about that because I was like, I come in here for one thing to work on, different, work on my, to work on my body. And then you go turn around and I learned this when I've been almost 2 years into the gym working and I'm wearing my knees down. I'm like, somebody need to have posters and stuff up in the gym. I asked them in the gym and they said, yeah. They said you should do the oh, what is that thing called? It's called the it's where you get on, I always forget what the name of it is. You get into the machine and it's like you're climbing. It's more gentler on your knees. Let me look it up right now. Let me tell you what it is. Okay, hold on. Okay, guys, it's called the elliptical machine where you're going up and down with your legs and you're going this way, guys, and you're going up and down with your legs and you're standing upright and you're just going up and down. So hold on, guys. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through this video. My daughter keep coming back for it. So it's called the elliptical machine, and it's much more um, much more easier on the joints. So that's what they say. That's what you should be using. I'm like, well, why y'all ain't got machines? I mean, why you guys ain't got no? You need to have something on this, like on each treadmill. You should have, if you have arthritis, come see us at desk, okay, before you go out there. Yeah, so that made my knees worse, guys. So again, I'm going to insert some pictures. Basic um, body mechanics is what we need to be mindful of to make sure that we are properly doing our justice to our bodies, and that even in sitting, that we have good posture. When we get tired, just that we have good posture when we are sitting down, and even with our feet, because I do have feet issues. My arches in my feet have dropped. My feet are flat. I got flat feet, pancake feet. That's what I call them. And I would never thought I would see the day because my arches was so high. They was very, very high arches, and they have fallen. So now I have to get arch supports in my shoes. I mean, I can wear shoes without them, but I always get a good pair. And Skechers. Skechers have some amazing, amazing sneakers and sandals that have arch supports in them. And I had developed tendonitis one time in my feet. And so I got to be very careful, tendonitis and heel spurs. So when I wear the right shoes, my feet are fine. I really don't even have that many feet issues. But we need arch supports. We need the basic um, shoe, a nice shoe with support in it, especially as we're going around doing what we're doing, because nice support in your feet helps align your body as well with your back, with your knees and your hips. Perfect alignment, you know, can start at even with your feet, because you need proper shoes, you need proper support in your shoes that you wear. So when we get that in place, you can have perfect back. Guys, I was in the post office and I had my Skechers on, and a guy, he asked me, I was doing what I was doing at the register, and the guy, while I was waiting for the lady to do what she was doing, he said, "Excuse me, miss." He said, "Are those sneakers comfortable?" And I was like, yes, yes." And he said, "I wanted to get me." Now this was a young guy. He must probably been about in his 30s. He was like, "I wanted to get me some of those." Um, uh, you know, and I was like, I recommend them. I highly recommend Skechers Arts. They have what is it called? Skechers Art Support. I think that's what it is. Skechers, and I've been buying it for the last 4 or 5 years, to help, me not to have a arch support device in my shoe. So they come automatically with the arch supports. Back in the day, guys, we didn't have sneakers without no shoes without our support. Our supports automatically came inside of our shoes. I don't know what's been the last 10, 15, 20 years when you don't have our support in your shoes. Back in the day, we used to have our supports, you know? So we got to be mindful about our feet. So I told him, I said, yes. I said, I highly recommend them. He said, because I got a bad back. And my doctor told me to wear shoes with our support. And I said, I highly recommend them because they got men and they got the women. And so I just work in that area and with the Skechers because they are very, very amazing shoes. So even if you just wear them while you're out, doing the jobs and making sure you're going up and down steps properly, that you don't have too many things in your hand, that you are not lifting too much heavy things by yourself. Sometimes it takes two people, and we're just moving and we're stretching. This is where basic body mechanics come into play. So I'm sorry this took that long. Guys, I'm getting ready to go into, how I did, um, and how things went for me with over the weekend for Mother's Day. And guess what, guys? I said, and I think for Valentine's Day, I don't know if it was in one of my Valentine's Day videos or a video that I did shortly after Valentine's Day, where I said, I'm not disclosing how I did. I know it's not mandatory. I said, I'm not doing it. I said, I'm not doing it. And I'm going to give you some of the reasons why that I'm not doing it because, no, nobody asked us to get up here on the channel and nobody's asking us to say anything. Some people do it, some people don't. But when I got up into this community, I didn't think about none of this. I never thought about sharing my financial, take in, from how I do what I do. But I said in my last video, I said, now I've been on the channel for a year now. It's been a year in May. I came on in May of last year. And so when I came on, I didn't have this idea of sharing these type of things with the community. And it's nobody's asking me to share it. But when I got on here, I saw people were doing it. So I said, well, I guess maybe people are expecting me to do it too. Let me do it. But and 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 after Valentine's Day, I said I wasn't going to do this for so many reasons, guys, because you know, uh, I don't find it really. We can encourage people. We can share absolutely what we've done. We can share as much or as little or nothing at all when we are doing what we're doing here on our channels. And so I was just trying to be informative. I was just trying to just trying to hang out with you guys here, just trying to be in the in crowd, just trying to be part of the in crowd. But it's not for me. It's not something for me because what I have seen over the months, um, I don't know what it is. It's just like I've seen other channels um, outside of this community, and I think we're all familiar with one another. This community seems to be growing and growing and growing. There's a lot of people jumping in, and it's an amazing thing to see. And we're just we're just in here. We know who is who. A lot of times we see what we see, and but I've noticed that um, I don't know whether to say they're newbies or not newbies. I don't know how far in a lot of people have been into the gift basket business, but I feel that when we share um, our information about how well we did, how well we may have not have done, um, that sometimes it can still have some sort of negative impact on people, especially if they are someone who's just coming into the community and they want to join and they want to start their business. And there's people who get motivated by hearing the good stuff, the good stuff that happens, the buying, the selling, when people come on, they just get in, we see all the fun stuff, that going out shopping and going out doing what you're doing and putting designing and getting all the gifts together, certain people gleaning from one another. We just, it's just, but guys, it's more to selling gift baskets than just selling gift baskets. There's more to gift baskets than just designing gift baskets and doing what we're doing, because there is more. There are other things that are attached to selling, whether it be gift baskets, whether it be this thing, or whether it be that thing, just whatever business it is. There is more than just what meets the eye. There's more than just the fun stuff. There's more than just a completed thing that has happened. So when I see people who are struggling with the fact that they didn't sell a lot, that they, um, you know, we live and we learn, we grow, especially if you're new. Sometimes it takes a lot of work to get the business going, and it's not as easy and it's not as quick as some may think. Now, there are overnight successes, that can happen. It's very rarely, but I don't, I say, hey, go for it. If that's a desire that you have, hey, go for it. Sometimes somebody can become an overnight success, but others, oftentimes, 9 times out of 10, we got to work our way up, to being a successful business owner, whether it be in gift baskets or any other type of business. But it bothers me when I see people who, they who's saying, I didn't sell, I'm quitting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I see a lot of that, guys. I see a lot of that going on, how people um, are, I feel like they don't think they are meeting up to the expectations, or they are meeting up to what other people's may be doing on their channels. And this is why I really do not want to do it on my channel. I don't want to say whether I sold everything or I had a bad time selling. Because even with the bad time selling, when people are looking up to certain people and they don't sell out as they, or they don't do that thing that their channel is about, that could be a downside too, because it's like, well, what is the point if they big like that, and they have no hard time, and they're not selling their things as well, then what kind of hope is that for me? But I say, do your best, and if it's in you to do it. We don't get moved by what we see other people see. We just got to, there's a right way to do things. And so I don't share, and I don't want to share moving forward this part of sharing how well or how did I get. I don't mind showing that I have done it, and that I'm what's going on. But when it comes to the financial parts of that things, I want to be strategic in that area, because I don't want people to get pulled down by how well somebody may have done, or even how bad somebody may have done, because again, that could be a negative impact on somebody too, saying, I thought this person was all that in the bag of chips, and they ain't sold jack, they ain't sold nothing. So how is this going to be for me? So whichever way it goes, I'm not telling nobody to do what you are. There's channels that are open to that, but I want to um not share these things on my channel, because I feel like there's a negative impact that can happen. And my channel is going to be about building up, lifting up, sharing. Guys, when I talk about sharing, now let me just cut into this real fast. Now, sometimes, guys, it takes me a long time to find certain items. Sometimes I have an idea in my head and I say, I wonder if that's something that's really real. Is there really an item out here like that? And I'll be, searching, I'll be Googling, I'll be doing this and I'll be doing that. And sometimes it'll take me weeks to find one thing in particular. And then somebody will come on and say, oh, where did you get that from? Where? And it's not that I don't want to share it. It's just like, this is why I created that video called individuality. Don't lose your individuality. Yeah, we can share something. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to share certain things, but there's just certain things that I just want to keep to myself. And especially if it took me weeks and weeks and weeks to find it, because there's things that I'd be looking for. And somebody say, where do you get that from? I'm like, I'm not releasing that information. Do you know how long it took me to get that? And I'm just going to give it to you. I don't mind sharing, but certain things I'm not going to share. And I don't want to feel bad about that because this is why people have trademarks. This is why people have uh, uh, um, uh, patents and things on their item because they don't want to share. I mean, or they don't want to duplicate. Now, this is stuff that they created on their end. But as far as finding stuff, this is it's just certain things that I don't mind sharing, and I'm going to share just about everything on my channel. But there may be one or two things I'm like, no, I can't tell you where I get. Now, this is where I want us as creators and designers and stuff to use your creativity and use your way, because sometimes we're just not going to be able to find something because there are channels that are out there where you might see something, but the channel is no longer nobody's on there no more putting up posters and stuff, and you might see something on there and you try to ask about it, but the person is no longer uploading videos. They're not their channel is they're not on their channel no more. So now what you have to do is try to figure out how do I get that? I want that. And a lot of times, guys, you have to just use your photogenic memory or write it down and get out there and start Googling and start to put in the description bar what it is that you're looking for. And that very item may come up instead of always asking, where did you get that? Where did you get that? Sometimes just use your creative juices, because a lot of times, sometimes I might ask somebody where they got something. I very, very rarely do it. But sometimes that person don't say anything. I'm not going to get offended. I'm just like, well, I guess they don't want to tell me, okay? I guess they don't want to share that. Or maybe they just didn't happen to see my message, one or the other. So what you can do is just don't take no for an answer, or just no answer at all. Just get out there in cyberspace and just begin to be creative and put down, if you have an idea, just begin to Google it and see if something comes up that matches what you want, because I love how God give me some things and I'm like, I ain't never heard of that before. I ain't never seen that before. And sometimes I can just Google it out. I'm like, jackpot. I'm just like, oh my gosh, there it is. So some things I'm just not going to release. And it's not that I don't want you, don't take personal offense to it. It's not that I don't want you or nobody else to have it. It's just that I want to keep things to myself because this is my own individuality, and I'm just trying to stay individualized as long as I can. You know, I'm just trying to stay. I just want to keep that to myself. Somebody grab a hold of it. Well, I ain't never gonna do because it's out there. But I don't want to, release certain things. So it's just only certain things. It's a real small percent of what I won't release if there's something that I'm doing, and I may not want to share it. And if I don't mention it in the video, 9 times out of 10 is because I don't want to share it, or maybe I've forgotten one or the other. But most of the time, it's because I'm not going to share it. And so we have to just be mindful, about, when we asking people things too as well. That's what I feel, that sometimes people may not just want to share. And, we just got to be mindful about what we're doing in this community, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of footwork. There was a video out not too long ago. I forget what her name was, but I saw this video come up, and I think I seen a lot of us comment on this one video, where the person was saying, I'm quitting gift baskets. I'm going to put her link. I'm going to link it. I'm going to find the video. I'm going to link the video into the description bar, and I'm going to show. I'm just going to say real fast that that video, that video spoke volumes, and I think a lot of people. I only could speak for myself. I got what she was saying when I heard. I got what she was saying, but I think certain people took it the wrong way. I think people took it out of context, or maybe they didn't get the right understanding of what she was saying. She now I don't know the person. I just saw the video maybe about a month or so ago, and she was saying that she was quitting gift baskets. business, okay? We're free to do what we want to do. Ain't nobody, that's their business if they want to do it. And they just sharing why they're doing it, okay? But what she was saying was that she had two businesses, okay? And she had one where she was a florist, and she had one, where she was doing the gift basket business. I think the gift basket business, from what I'm understanding, was the new thing. She did it for a while, and it just wasn't adding up for her. And what she was saying was, between the two businesses, she said, now, she said the reason why, pretty much why she was quitting the gift basket business is because she said it takes too much work. All right, we know that. It ain't no surprise to us. It ain't no surprise. And I'm saying that, I'm not saying that to be negative to her. I'm talking about us on the other end, because it is a lot of work. This is something we all know. And so when people were, certain people were commenting, it was just like, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. And she was saying, this is a lot of work. You put a lot of footwork. You do a lot. You have to start months and months in advance to get ready for that particular day. And it's a lot of work. That I agree on, because yes, it is. I absolutely agree on that. Now, she said between the two, between her floral job and the gift basket, she said she would make um, more. She would make more money. Okay, all right. I'm not going to quote that because I can't remember what she said. The bottom line is that it was a lot of more. It was more work with the gift baskets. Okay, where she had to do a lot of footwork, had to put a lot of time and energy into that. Whereas when you're working with floral, you kind of already know what you're doing. You don't have to do stuff months and months and months in advance to get ready, because flowers you can sell at any time, any occasion, anything, any day, every day. And you know what you're getting, you know what your inventory is. You don't have piles and piles of stockpile in your house. And and so that makes better sense for her. And she said that this is outweighing this over here. I don't want to put that time in, all that time in, and then really don't have that much to show for it afterwards, after you did all that work, and then you still don't have a lot to show for it, because you don't know how you're going to sell. You don't know how things are going to happen on that day. I don't care if you court clearances. I don't care if you court penny stuff. I don't care if you got the stuff for free. At the end of the day, is that you're doing all this work before the actual holiday get here, and then you don't know if you're going to actually sell, and if you're going to have a good return back in all that you did. So this is what she was saying, and she said, I would prefer to do my floral because that makes sense to me, because even though I may not make um, as much money as I made or could have did on the gift baskets, I would rather stay here because it's more consistent with my life, and I kind of know what I'm doing. I know what to expect, and I don't have to put all that footwork and all that work in for months and months and months just to do this one particular holiday. Now and again, we can sell gift baskets every day, just like floral stuff, just like being a florist. You can sell stuff every day, every single day. You could do that. Flowers is a good thing, to sell, because people tend to, I'm a flower girl. I know, look, I know about me some flowers. If I would have to pick between the two, I would say flowers too, on my end, because I feel like, we can get out there and do a lot of things, and okay, I'm not trying to put that, I'm not trying to say that being a florist is better than being, I don't want nobody commenting saying that this thing, because on my end, that's what I could think. That's what I can say for myself on this end. But you know, we see more flower shops, than we see gift basket shops. So this is what I'm saying. So I'm not trying to discourage nobody from doing gift baskets, because if you're somebody who sells all the time, I applaud you. I applaud you, because it's really really good work, um, hard work, and then we see the fruits of our labors as we are out there selling. You know, and it takes a lot to get out there and sell and to do this type of work. So with that video, I agree with her. I agree with what she is saying, and she's not being, in my opinion, she's not being negative. I don't know if it was clickbait. I don't know if it was just something, to make people turn into her channel. You know how we do. We put little stuff on our channel sometimes so people can tune in. But what she was saying was that she would rather do the floral because it's not as busy and as time consuming as it is with doing gift baskets. So I agree with her, and this is why I flipped over. This is why I switched over, because I'm doing things totally different than what I was doing the year before I came. This time last year I was in on this channel, but prior I was doing things like this. Guys, I'm getting ready to go and get my brochure done from Vistaprint. I'm going to, because I started it last year. I think that the end part of last year I haven't finished up yet because I've been too busy doing other stuff, and I want to get that done. I'm not going to be selling no more at as far as I know. I don't know. All I know is I'm not going to be making multitudes of baskets because it don't fit into my life. That's not what I was doing last year until an event came. I wasn't doing for like every holiday. There were certain things that I was doing, but it wasn't every single holiday. It wasn't this or was that. I was doing events as it came, and I did Christmas, and I definitely love Valentine's Day and Christmas and Mother's Day and a little bit of Father's Day. But all of that stuff is getting cut down. I'm changing over, and I'll tell you guys about that. I've said some in my previous videos that I'm going to be doing smaller gifts. I love the mug gifts. I love people are drawn to those, and I'm going to be doing individualized gifts like the Ferrero Rocher flower cup bouquet. I'm going to be doing things like that because that can be all occasions. Don't need anything to mix in with that. People love chocolate and people love certain things, and that is one of them. Strawberries. I'm trying to get back into that, guys, to practice up on that. And the chocolate covered strawberries, because you can do many things with that. That's my daughter in the background. And so these are the type of things that I'm going to be doing because it doesn't fit into my life, guys. So this is another thing that we got to be careful of what actually fits into our life. We got to be mindful about, if uh, we have a family, we have children, we have husbands, we have, people around us in our homes. Hold on, guys. We got to be mindful about what fits into our life because the buying can be a really big issue, a really big issue when we're out there buying inventory and we're just bringing any old thing into our home and just buying things because it's just on sale and it's there and it's multitudes. We got to be strategic in what we do. Now, I ain't telling nobody what to do. I'm saying I know I want to be strategic, and I think it's advisable to be strategic in what you're doing because when we begin to have bring these things into our homes, and the living room and the dining room, and then the children's bedroom. Because children come home one day, you got gift baskets all up in the children's room, all over the bed and everything. It's a problem. It's a problem because we got to mentally be ready for this. When we start businesses like this, we got to make sure that we have the space. And sometimes you may be even called or may have to rent out a space outside your home to put things in because when things start taking over your home and you got family and you got your husband and stuff and you're just looking at mom or dad, we got some guys, I think we got a few guys out there, what in the world's going on? I ain't got no place to do my homework. I ain't got no place to eat. I ain't got no place to sleep. I ain't got no place to go into the bathroom. We could get basket. We got to be mindful about what we're doing and how it impacts our family around us because bringing stuff in and having it all over the place can mentally, begin to take some weird and tear out. So to me, I think it's important to have family maintenance if you can, a week. If you have a gift basket business inside your home, to have a meeting with your family, make sure they're okay. That the stuff that I'm doing is it getting in your way. How do you feel about this? I think family meetings is very, very important to have when you have a business inside your home, and then you have a lot of inventory, and you got to make sure that it is not interfering with your family and particularly with your children. So that's a suggestion for me, guys. I want to look at my paper because I was writing some things down. Um, there is, this video is already long. It's almost an hour, guys. So I want to talk about real fast. Okay, so let me just clean this up. Make sure that we can talk to our families and make sure they're okay. Make sure they're feeling all right about what's going on, with our business, because it affects everybody in the household. When you are doing things. So I think that's important. So I want to bring up score.org. I'm going to leave this information in the description. Again, if you're trying to start a gift basket, if you're doing your gift basket business and you're looking for ways to even get a place, a business, a brick and mortar. If you want to do certain things, now I looked into this myself through my Chamber of Commerce. Each state has a Chamber of Commerce for small businesses, and then when you connect with them, I only can tell you what happened on my end. I connected with them because I'm trying to learn the business side. We know about going out buying and getting things on discounts, but running a gift basket business is more than just buying things and putting them in your basket and getting them out to sell. There's also the financial end. There's also the things that we have to do, especially if you're making a lot of money. Taxes are involved here. We got to know that we are meeting up with the requirements of the IRS and make sure those things are in place. Now, I'm not making oodles and oodles and oodles of monies, guys. Like any other gift basket business maybe doing, but there are guidelines and there are things that we have to consider, not just going out on the street, making sure you have certain things, where you can go out and sell and you're not getting shut down on the streets and you don't have the proper this and the proper that. You have to check in with your state to see what you need. And if somebody just let you come into your business, that's wonderful. That's a plus. But score.org is what my Chamber of Commerce sent me. And I believe SCORE is in each state. And you can go to that website and guys, through score.org, you can go into workshops now virtually. Thanks, one of the things that came out of the pandemic, this was birthed out of the pandemic, that now you can sit home virtually and be a part of these workshops to help better your business. I want to give you an example. The last one that I partook of was they had. Now I was thought about selling online, maybe Amazon or something like that, Posh or Etsy and all this stuff. But they had a workshop where they were talking about how to sell on Amazon. And it was really, really, really good information. There were people who were a part of Amazon, and they were telling you how to go about selling your gifts on Amazon. So these are really, really good nuggets to have. These are from the Chamber of Commerce that deals with small businesses. And if you really, really want to get out there, to contact your Chamber of Commerce. And if you don't want to go that route, go to score.org and see what they have in there, because they can set you up with a mentor. If you're selling gift baskets, I was set up with a mentor about 2 years ago who was out selling gift baskets, a lot of stuff. I had already knew when I was talking to her. She was like, "What do you need us for?" Like I said, I'm trying to learn the business side of it. I want to make sure I'm doing things properly. And so that part I also took care of. And just get out there because there's a lot more information. I recently contacted them again because I said, can I get assistance? Can I get some kind of financial help, with maybe some sort of cart or something that I can put out in my community where I can go to and just set up and sell gift baskets. Now, again, we don't have that. We don't do that out here in my community. Now, if I go over to the next county, oh yeah, I can do that all day long. I don't need license, I don't need nothing. But I would never go over there because it's too dangerous now. And I grew up on that side of town. I grew up over there. And I said, I ain't going over there. I wouldn't go over there. If my life depend, I wouldn't go over there because it's not the way it was when I was living over there. When I lived over there, it was a whole different feel. But now it's just so much going on in there. But where I live at right now, they don't play that. No, no, you're not doing that unless you have the right space and somebody is and you working alongside with somebody, or you work something out where you can actually go out. You just can't go set out on the street. Now for Valentine's Day, I tried that. You got to see my Valentine's Day video. But Lord, that was a mess because I was over in another county. And even though they still don't play that type of activity over there because it is still within the um, there's so many different counties in where I live at. It's many different counties, but we're still under one umbrella. But Lord, I tell you, that location where I went to Valentine's Day, I would never go there again. I almost thought about it for Mother's Day. I said, girl, if you don't stop playing, I ain't going over there. No, I ain't going over there because I ain't for people picking up my gifts and trying to steal my gift. And I'm over there. Check out my Valentine's Day videos, guys. Just go back a couple months and check out that video. But I was just like, what in the world? So, but you still can't do it. You just can't go out on the street in that location where I was on Valentine's Day. Nobody just don't, never say nothing to nobody because people go out there, they sell with sports, things going with sports, they go out there selling t-shirts and stuff. So, we got to be mindful about where we can sell at. And but score.org can help you with a lot of questions and go to your local chamber of commerce and speak with somebody if you are serious about getting bigger things. You want to, hopefully somebody can direct you with getting a brick and mortar, getting financial assistance with that, getting into programs or just helping you get out there into your community and show you how to get set up. So this has been a very, very long video. It's almost an hour. I know that it was going to be long, and I'm thinking that I covered everything, guys. I had to write things down because I had originally planned on coming just say a few things, but I said when I started thinking about all this stuff, I said this is going to be pretty long. So I'm going to end here, guys. I'm going to take another hour to go through all of this stuff to see what I said because I hope that this is a go because I only usually do one video. Very rarely that I have to go back and go through stuff and change it around. So I'm hoping everything's a go on this one, guys. And if there's anything, there there are a couple of videos that I would suggest you guys see in pursuit of happiness because this is about a guy who um, who became homeless and he turned out to be a very successful businessman. And I want to it's Will Smith, guys. I grew up in the area where Will Smith um, was at. I used to see him all the time when I was a teenager because he hung out with the guys across around the corner and across the street from me, and they still today are very, very good friends. But Will Smith is in this movie, and Jazzy Jeff used to live right around the corner from me, guys. I ain't trying to make myself big or anything, but we were all fam, where I grew up. So Jazzy Jeff was around the corner from me, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and if you didn't see Jazzy Jeff, you wasn't going to see Will Smith because they was always together. But anyway, hold on again, guys. But anyway, guys, Will Smith was in this movie and he did an excellent job portraying this real life story of this businessman who lost everything. And his son Jaden Smith was also in this movie. They did an excellent job in this movie, and I would have you to see this movie because it is uplifting. It helps us to realize that we can go out and do whatever we want to do when it comes to business, when it comes to pursuing what you really want to do. So in pursuit of happiness, I want to leave that link down. There's also another video that I want to leave about a woman um, who's who has YouTube videos about how she started her cake business. I think she had $5 and she became a very, very successful. She runs a cake business, and it's really, really a nice thing to hear her testimony. I'm going to leave that into the video or into the description bar. So I hope I said everything. If there's something I left out, guys, I'll put it in another video. I'm getting ready to leave off, and just know that everything that I'm saying is, this is not uh, prayerfully, not everything. I just put it this way: everything is said in love, and everything that I say and do on this channel, I want to help, to motivate and to help propel people, even myself. I don't know it all. I barely know anything. But I just worked through experience and a lot of things I found out on my own. And my channel moving forward is going to be about just ideas and whatever I show about gift baskets, and it's not going to be, all what you've seen before. It's going to be on that same level now. I'm going to still be doing stuff, guys, but I'm switching around a lot of stuff because I want people to be uplifted and feel like they can do it, even if they're having problems, doing it. Let's get through this thing together. Let's motivate each other to do, to move, to propel forward. And you should know if this is for you or not, because we just don't want to dive in and do stuff because other people are doing it. We want to have that inner knowing that this is what we should be doing, because this is how everything just works out better, when we actually have that true desire to do it, and not because we've seen something on the channel and we just, or on YouTube, and we just want to do it because it looks fun, because there's a lot of work involved. So let me hang up. Let me get off the video, guys, and and just be blessed, guys. Be blessed until the next video. Just keep following your heart in this area, and just keep following your true inner desire to do what it is. And again, it's going to take a lot of hard work, to get through. But we could do it if we just keep motivating ourselves forward. Okay, so anyway, let me hang up. Let me go. Okay, guys, let me go. And until the next video, be blessed. Okay.